the biggest wealth transfer we've experienced is happening over the next decade. And in this video, we're going to talk about how you can take advantage of that with a no-code app. Now, make sure you stick around because toward the end, we're also going to go through 5 specific categories your app could fall into within the context of this wealth transfer. So make sure you don't miss out on that. Hey, it's Kristen over at Coaching No Code Apps. We help non-technical entrepreneurs build custom apps so they can start their app-based businesses or grow their existing businesses all without coding. And if that's what you're doing, then subscribe to this channel for new videos to help you every single week. So first things first, the premise of this wealth transfer was first brought to light for me by Cody Sanchez, founder over at Contrarian Thinking. So today we're gonna go over the context of what this wealth transfer is, what's going on, but then we're gonna take a different spin and we're gonna look at it from the perspective of someone who is able to build no-code apps and take advantage of the wealth transfer in that way. All right, so here's the deal. All baby boomers by the year 2030 are going to be age 65 or older. And here in the US, 66 is the official retirement age. So essentially what that means is within the next decade, the entire baby boomer generation is going to be hitting retirement. Now, here's the interesting thing. Baby boomers account for 2.3 million small businesses within the US alone. So if you think about it, that really means that within the next decade, there's a very good chance that up to 2.3 million small businesses are going to be going up for sale. Now, we can already assume that not all 2.3 million of these businesses are actually going to go up for sale. Not every single baby boomer is going to retire just like that. But that's kind of the premise of the conversation. And regardless of how many businesses actually do go up for sale, that's a big chunk of businesses. To continue expanding on that, I want to show you this Forbes article titled Unsexy but Thriving Businesses, the Hidden Opportunity Gifted to Us by Baby Boomers. So this goes through what I've already shared with you, but just to kind of drive this home, you can see that Forbes says here, baby boomers, defined as people born between 46 and 64, account for approximately 40% of small businesses or franchise ownership. Now, this is specifically in the US. Many of these are service-based businesses, restaurants, auto shops, plumbing businesses, local retail stores. Now, with that in mind, consider this. Experts estimate that roughly 10,000 baby boomers retire every single day. The Forbes article goes on to say that up to 60% of these small businesses don't have succession plans. So essentially, we have all these baby boomers, and a lot of them were thinking, well, once I retire, I'm going to pass my business down to my kids or maybe on to my grandkids. But surprise, surprise, these kids and these grandkids don't want to take over those service-based businesses. So now these baby boomers are left with these businesses. A lot of them want to retire. And so what are they going to do? Well, they're going to sell the businesses. Now, if you follow Cody Sanchez, her focus is essentially on accumulating or acquiring rather boring businesses. So exactly those businesses we just talked about. One of the things that she really focuses on is taking these boring businesses that are probably operating in outdated ways and bringing them to the present with tech. Right? So essentially using apps to better run the businesses. Now let's spin this and look at it from the perspective of someone who is able to build a no-code app like you or maybe future you. There are 2 things I want you to be thinking about. Number 1, those baby boomers who don't have a succession plan and they don't necessarily want to retire as soon as they hit 65 or 66 years old, but they do want to pull back or maybe streamline their operations or have the business better run with a less of a time investment from them. So that's number 1. Now, number 2, the second thing I want you to be thinking about are those baby boomers who are wanting to sell their businesses. Now, you do not need to buy one of those businesses. That is not what this video is about. But you can take advantage of this wealth transfer by building apps that many of these businesses could use. So if you are going to be building that tech for these businesses, the question you need to be asking is, how do I find these niches? I want you to think about 5 specific categories that every single business is going to be involved with in some way. And these are 5 categories that your app could fall into or address. So over here on the left, we have lead generation. So at the very earliest stage, every single business, in order to become a business, needs to generate leads. Leads being prospective customers, prospective users, clients, that type of thing. So every business is going to focus on lead generation. How do I get customers? And every single business is also going to focus on lead nurture, right? Okay, how do I take the leads who did not turn into customers, and how do I nurture them or kind of keep them in my world so that when they are ready to become customers, I am the person or the business they think about first. Now, after that, we have sales. How do I take these leads that I have generated and nurtured and convert them into becoming paying customers, clients, users? After that, we have fulfillment. So once I have converted them into becoming my paying customers, now how do I deliver on whatever it is they purchase, whether that be a good, a product, a service, right? How do I fulfill on that and deliver what they came to me for? And then after that, we have upsell or retention. Okay, so now that I have initially fulfilled on that product or that service, how do I then sell them something else or have them continue to pay for that product or that service? All right, so this is the cool part. When you're thinking about how to take advantage of this wealth transfer by building an app, you can think about any one of these 5 business focal points, and you can build an app that solves a problem within any of them. And you can guarantee that your app is going to be applicable or needed by businesses in general. This should be your starting point to help you make sure you're building an app that's actually needed and that it can be applicable to all these different types of businesses we've been talking about. So when you're looking at lead generation, again, this is looking at how a business attracts prospective customers to them. Now, if you think about these small businesses, these 2.3 million small businesses owned by these baby boomers who are all reaching retirement age, well, chances are a lot of their lead generation tactics are probably going to be very manual. They're probably not going to be automated very much. Realistically, a lot of these businesses are probably just relying on people to walk by their stores, or maybe just to be kind of advertised via word of mouth. So how can you take lead generation for these different businesses and automate it? Number one, which will then allow scale. And then next, we want to look at lead nurture. So it's always guaranteed that when someone first hears about a business, they are not going to make a purchase right then and there, even if it's something they're interested in. Most people are going to come back at a later point in time. That's why lead nurture is so important for businesses, because when a person hears about you, but they're not yet ready to buy, you want to make sure you stay familiar to them so that when they are ready to buy, you will be front of mind for them. So how can you come up with tech that helps these small, unautomated businesses better nurture their leads? You can think about gamification tactics here, or even something as simple as helping certain types of businesses create contact bases so that these businesses can then consistently reach out and stay in touch with these prospective customers. Now, moving into sales and especially fulfillment, which we'll get to in a second, these are really big areas when it comes to potential for an app that you could build. So if you think about how sales are happening for most service-based businesses, a lot of time the sale is going to be made from direct interaction with that prospective customer, but most of the time there's going to be some sort of quote that needs to be created, right? There is a lot of ways that software can help streamline and automate these processes, because what's happening with many of these businesses right now is the sales processes are so manual and disjointed and outdated that, number one, a lot of the sales are just lost altogether. And oftentimes that's on the business, because the business doesn't have the systems to follow up on the sale, or to even follow up with maybe information that the customer asked for, right? There's not a lot of organization there. And that brings us to fulfillment. And this is a really big one. One of the absolute coolest things I think I've been exposed to in the no-code space is just how many small niches there are that are currently underserved by tech. Now, here's the thing that's interesting. There's lots of software out there that can help businesses run their operations, but there's very rarely that type of software that has been built for these individual niches. So a lot of these small businesses are either using apps that aren't really specified to them and their processes, or because they can't find anything that caters directly to them, they don't use apps at all. So with that in mind, I want you to think about all the different types of operations a business might have, right? Think about businesses with maybe fleets of vehicles, even if they're small fleets. Think about businesses that have their technicians out in the field. Think about managing team members, sending invoices, coming up with those proposals, communicating with customers. Think about keeping inventory for these places or ordering new inventory. I mean, there's so many different little pieces within a business's operations. So if you can find a niche where there's not a specific app that already caters to helping these businesses manage their operations, this is like a gold mine, right? Because when this wealth transfer is happening, this is the first thing those new business owners are going to be looking at. We went through the lead gen, the lead nurture, right? The sales, those things are all important, but the business operations are where most of these businesses are wasting time and they're wasting money. And lastly, let's look at upsell and retention. Now, I actually want to specifically bring this back to the discussion we just had, because the reality is it's always going to be very difficult to upsell or retain a customer when you haven't been able to operate in a way that allows you to fulfill on whatever it is they are buying. The upsell and retention is really a direct result of this fulfillment. How did the fulfillment go? If it was good, you're going to have a much higher likelihood of being able to keep that customer coming back or continuing to pay, right? If it was bad, then you can say goodbye to that customer. That's a one-time thing. And now you're going to be left going all the way back to here. And it's harder to do this than it is to do this. Let's say that the fulfillment is now streamlined with an app. Now that we have the potential for success with the upsell and the retention, think of all the ways you could help businesses do that. I mean, think about all the service-based businesses that currently operate on a sale-by-sale basis that could actually really benefit from some type of subscription service, right? That is retention. All right, so here's the deal, my friend. You can take advantage of this massive wealth transfer happening over the next decade by, one, you could buy one of these businesses if you really wanted to, but two, and most importantly, you can build an app to help serve these businesses. Once these businesses are purchased and they're in the hands of people who are going to be looking for tech to help increase their ROI, how can you help them do that? Now, if you're dead set on doing this and you want to take advantage of this type of opportunity, and realistically, It doesn't have to be within the context of this wealth transfer. This is just kind of like an amplified opportunity. But if you're dead set on helping to solve a problem with an app that you have built so that you can create a scalable business model that you're in control of, then head to coachingnocodeapps.com/workshop to get started correctly. Right? There's a specific process you want to go through when you're building your app. You want to plan in a specific way. You want to make sure you're using the right no-code tools that are actually going to serve you in the long run. And you want to make sure you're building your app in a scalable way so that it can perform as these businesses are growing. So head to coachingnocodeapps.com/workshop. It's a free workshop for you to join in on. We'll hope to see you there. And I hope this video is valuable for you. If it was, give it a like down below, and we'll see you in the next one.